Hi, I'm Jillian and welcome to the show. I offer spiritual growth for the rebel soul, guiding you through the labyrinth of your own ascension path. This show is for the rebel souls that challenge the status quo, those that crave authenticity in every single aspect of their lives, that desire to embrace their uniqueness, follow their passions, connect to their soul, and live according to who they truly are, even if that means having the courage to go against the grain or the norms of society. If that's you, my spiritual soul seeker, rebel warrior, then this is the place for you. On this podcast, we speak about everything from spirituality, sexuality, conscious relationships, business, and literally everything in between. So if that's your jam, then stay tuned. And go on, be a rebel and subscribe. You know you want to. In today's episode, I'm going to tackle a conversation that everyone will probably experience or have questions around as you move through your spiritual journey. And that is, why does energy protection feel like it works sometimes, but not others? And ultimately, what does that even mean for your spiritual growth? So, have you ever had one of those days where you know you've done all the right things? You've grounded your energy, you've set your boundaries, you've connected, you've cleared, you have your own energy protection ritual before you start the day. But then as you go throughout your day, you start to feel drained, you start to feel heavy, you start to realize that you're maybe being impacted by someone else, or you're carrying someone else's emotions or energy. Now, this is going to resonate with those that are going through their spiritual journey, that those who are going through their spiritual awakening journey, because you're more aware to the subtleties of energy around you, and the fact that you're even protecting and clearing and grounding your energy in the first place, you're on your way. You're on your way, right? But I've been there too, right? There was times where I'm like, what is going on? I'm doing my energy protection rituals, I'm doing my meditations, I feel like for the most part I'm protected, but then there were just times where it just felt like it wasn't enough, or I was like, was I impacted by that? Why did I not feel protected, right? And it gets frustrating, right? Because you kind of really start to not trust yourself. You start to wonder if you've done something wrong, is this ritual not working for me anymore? Maybe my shielding wasn't strong enough, or maybe I didn't call in my guides the right way, which absolutely can be a thing, guys. It can be a thing, and this is what I teach in the Rebel Psychic School, how to do it that's so unique to yours. And sometimes there's just little nuances, right? And as we evolve, sometimes our practices have to evolve with us, right? But when we're going through that, when we start to question everything, you sometimes question, are you capable of protecting yourself energetically at all? But here's the thing, right? It's not about being bad energy protection. It's about recognizing when there's something deeper at play. Because everything is not always as it seems, guys. We know that, right? And, let's for this instance, let's reframe energy protection for a moment, right? Think of it not as this magical barrier that makes you invincible, but as a co-creative process with the universe. We are energy, everything is energy, so of course there has to be something more at play here, right? You're working with your higher self, you're working with your spirit guides already, you're working with the universe, you have your own ritual to protect your energy, sure, but you're also working with these things in order to grow, evolve, and learn. And sometimes the energy that, let's say, gets through, or the projections that impact you, isn't actually an accident. It's not that you haven't protected yourself well enough. It's not that you can't trust yourself to protect yourself well enough. It's actually an invitation. Because the truth is, the only time, and this is something that I tell my clients all the time, it's the only time that your energy protection, your grounding practice doesn't work, or doesn't seem to work, is when there's actually something for you to learn or grow from. Now I'm going to say that again. The only time that it doesn't seem to work is when there's actually something for you to learn or grow from. It's not actually about failure, it's about alignment. So what if the energy that you've either absorbed or there's been projected upon you or you've had a reaction to, the experience that you're having, what if that's like actually shining a light on something that you need to look at within yourself? What if that's shining a light on a shadow, a belief, or a lesson that's just ready to come to the surface? Because again, this is what I'm saying. It's like if you have the ritual that's unique and personalized to you, that will work throughout your day. You have the strength, you have the power, you have the ability to protect your own self, right? We have that innately in us. But the only time that you'll feel that that maybe isn't working or you've been impacted by something or someone is when there's something for you to learn from it. You know, everything is a mirror in our lives. Everything is energy. So there's something deeper here. And I'll share an example, from my own journey. It was a few years ago when I was picking up on everyone else's energy, right? Like I was doing my protection work, and this was a time where I'd stopped drinking, and I had gone out to a friend's birthday at a bar, and like I was protecting myself, and for the most part, like I felt protected, I felt good. But this particular time, I went into this bar, and I actually didn't want to be there. Like I was actually people pleasing, and I only went because it was their birthday, and I didn't want to be seen as like the bad person that didn't come. But nothing about being in a bar aligned with me. Nothing about being around people that were drinking or taking drugs or whoever else was in the vicinity aligned with me at all, and I didn't want to be there. And the reason that I got so impacted from coming out of that place, even though I'd protected myself, even though I'd done my ritual, I'd gone in there, you know, having set the intention, done all the things, right? I came out knowing that I had been impacted by the energy in there. And the reason was because it was something for me to look deeper on. The reason was because I had gone in there and I had actually stayed longer. Firstly, I didn't even want to be in there in the first place, right? So I was people pleasing. Secondly, I stayed longer than I should have because, again, I was people pleasing. I didn't want people to think that I was like, you know, a kind of way because I was leaving early. You know, thankfully, I've got past all of that now. And thankfully, like, I have very, very strong, clear boundaries on where I will go for how long. And I'll leave when I want to leave. Like, I now do not feel any, like, people pleasing nature to be anywhere when I don't want to be there, right? Even if it's someone's birthday. Of course I'll show up to certain things, but you know, I'll leave when I want to leave. And it's great that all of my friends completely understand and know that now. But at this time, this is a few years ago now, at that time, I hadn't really got there. So I was really questioning myself, like, why have I not been, why I feel like I've been so impacted by everyone's energy there. And I felt horrible, honestly. And then when I really sat down with it and I was like, what is this? Why haven't I been able to protect my energy? Why have I absorbed this? Why have I taken this on? Why do I feel like I'm drunk and I'm not even, obviously I'm not drinking. And it was because I was going against my own boundaries. I was not listening to myself, and I was overextending myself because of what people might say or how they might perceive me or how they might think of me if I left early. So that was a lesson that I had to learn. That was a part of my shadow that I had to really look at. And that was something that I had to really sit with and go, oh my God, this is a huge lesson for me in my own boundaries and listening to myself and honoring myself and what I need and just my needs in general and not thinking about everyone else but myself. So again, this is just an invitation to start to notice where this might be happening to you. And if there's a particular like situation or person or something that's like you feel like you've absorbed your energy or you feel it's triggered you into a bodily reaction in some way and you feel like your energy protection ritual hasn't worked, have a little look closer and see what that was actually bringing up for you. So once you've had a look at that, when you feel like your energy protection isn't working, here's 3 steps to kind of navigate that, right? So I want you to first pause and reflect. You know, instead of immediately trying to fix or double down on your protection techniques, which is what I did the minute I came out that bar. I was like walking to my car and I was trying to clear myself. I was trying to clear myself in the car and I'm like, oh, it doesn't feel like it's working. Like, what? Have I lost my powers? Have I lost my abilities? Like, don't do what I did. I want you to really just take that moment and reflect and ask yourself, like, what is this energy teaching me? Is there something that I need to see or address, like, within myself? You know, obviously I got to that point later, but it came with a lot of frustration, a whole car ride of feeling like I was drunk, but I obviously wasn't. I had literally just absorbed or was like being impacted by all the energy around me because I was overstepping my own boundaries and I wasn't listening to myself. That's what really it was. And then check your boundaries. Boundaries. This is a thing. Like, the energetic boundaries, like, are often the actual thing. They're often the mirror to our physical, our emotional, or our relational boundaries. So like me, were you saying yes to things when you really meant no? You know, were you over giving or people pleasing? Because that's exactly what I did. And generally, as I said, this is something that is the case, right? I mean, it could be something different for you. It could be like you've felt you've absorbed someone's energy, but actually the way that they were projecting at you was a trigger for something else. It doesn't necessarily mean that it was you're over giving or people pleasing. It could be to do with your boundaries in a different way, you know, where you didn't maybe feel safe because that person was projecting their energy in a way that maybe reminded you of something that happened to you in childhood. Like, again, I just want you to pause and really have a think about this from a boundary standpoint, right? From a physical, emotional, or like just even like relational boundaries, and where that could be impacting you and what's actually coming up for you. And then once you've kind of identified that, then is the point that you can kind of really connect with your guides or your higher self. You know, sit in meditation or journal and ask for more clarity on it. Because we want to get a little bit more clarity. We want to kind of get to the root cause, because awareness is healing, right? The more awareness that we have of ourselves, the more awareness that we have of any situations, the more that we can recognize them next time, the more that we can do the healing work on them. So just want you to ask, like, again, ask your intuition, your inner self, your guides, your higher self, whoever you want to connect with, whoever you resonate with, right? Why did this energy come into my field? What am I meant to learn from this? So just ask those questions and just see what comes. Like, and again, I just want you to trust the clarity that comes to you. And I want you to really notice the clarity that comes to you when you start to approach like these things with like this level of questioning or curiosity instead of frustration, which is what I was doing in the car home. I was like, why am I not clearing myself? Like, why does this not feel like it's gone? Like, it really, you know, when you're coming from that place of frustration or coming from that place of fear or kind of scarcity in a way, it's never gonna get the result that you want. But if you come from it from a curious perspective or a knowing that there's maybe something more, then it's like so much can be opened up to you. You know, because at the end of the day, right, as I said, we are all energy, right? And an energy protection isn't just about shielding ourselves from the world. It's actually about stepping into our power. And this is why, like, the techniques that I teach specifically were all channeled to me. And it's not about bringing anything in. It's not about creating a bubble around you. It's actually stepping into your power and knowing that you are powerful from the inside. And creating your protection and your ritual from inside of you. And projecting that out. You're not bringing anything in. Because it's like, I feel like, and this was something that I really noticed as well as I'd gone through my own spiritual and healing journey. You know, all the techniques that I was taught was like, bring this bubble in and around you, or, you know, or call your guides in, or, you know, whatever it is. And I'm like, there's something that feels like disempowering about that. There's something that feels like I don't have the power to do this myself, and I need help. I need to call someone in. I need validation. I need confirmation. I need something outside of myself. And that really felt disempowering to the power that I already knew I had. So this is why the techniques that I teach are very much from a self-empowering place. And it's from a very expansive place. And it's actually from the place that our soul really sits, which is inside us. So yeah, I just want to reiterate the whole fact of just shifting the narrative about, bringing anything in to protect us or shielding or having something to shield us from the world. It's not about that. It's about us stepping into our power, us knowing that we are powerful enough to do that from the inside out. And it's about trusting that everything that you encounter in your life, even the difficult energy, and I know there's a lot of it, guys, it's all part of our soul's journey. It's all part of it. It's all part of it to help us grow, to help us evolve, help us become more aware of who we are. And again, the power that we actually have inside. Because when we start to embrace this perspective, you honestly start to see every experience in your life as an opportunity for growth, for healing, and more alignment. But when we come from this place of disempowerment or frustration, or coming from this lack of curiosity and this lack of openness, that's what kind of creates more imbalances in our life, and it creates more resistance in our life to the answers that are really there for us, that are being shown to us, that are really present for us. So if you've been going through this, then I really hope this episode has helped you kind of reframe those moments when your energy protection doesn't kind of seem to work. So again, next time you feel like you're carrying someone else's energy, that you've absorbed someone else's energy, that you've been impacted by someone else's energy or projections or a place that you've been into, and you feel like your energy protection or your grounding or your rituals aren't working, then it's because you're being asked to go deeper. You're being asked to pause, you're being asked to reflect, and you're being asked to ask yourself, what am I meant to learn here? Because life is about growth, life is about lessons, life is about deeper understanding of ourselves. And everything, if we start to look at it in that way, if we start to look at it from a perspective of everything is here to teach us something, everything is here to understand our wounds, understand our own patterning, bringing more clarity to the things that we need to shift and heal, let go and release, so that we can step more into our power, so we can step more into our true self, so we can step more into our purpose and our authenticity. And if this resonated with you, then I'd love to hear your thoughts or experiences. You can obviously reach out to me on Instagram at Gillian Kane Connection, or if you want to share this with someone who also needs to hear that, then please do. And if you're ready to go deeper into mastering your own energy, connecting with your guides, discerning in a very safe way, then I want you to check out the Rebel Psychic School, which is a place where we turn spiritual growth into soul-aligned empowerment from the inside out. Enrollment is now open. We start on the 20th of January. I'm so excited. If you're feeling the call, if you're feeling the pull, if you know that you're meant to do more, if you're really interested in understanding more about energy, frequency, vibration, how to read energy, how to fully protect yourself, how to show up as the most empowered, intuitive version of yourself so that you can lead the soul-aligned life, so that you can start to unravel your soul's mission and purpose by stepping into your spiritual gifts, which is exactly what we're here to do, then maybe this is the place for you. So until next time, remember, you are powerful. You are so powerful. You're so protected, and you're always learning exactly what you need to. This is Gillian signing off. Keep on shining, keep on growing, and keep protecting your magic. I'll see you in the next episode.